look who's there. How's it going, Stan? How's it going? Oh, what the fuck is... Oh, okay, that's because it's that. Okay, we're good. How's it going, Stan? How's it going, Emmy? How was your day? Good. More Golang done today. That's some good news. That's some good news. Let's get this fucking mic wired up. I don't know, maybe a bit higher. This... Go makes web development fun. We'll probably look into it then. Good, more sleeping done today. That's some good news. I did some sleeping myself. Not perfectly. When I went off stream, I got to get a shower, and right after that, my daughter was like, I want to eat. Now. And she ate a lot. So, yeah. That's good. Right now, well, she's sleeping because she didn't, well, she didn't sleep at, I was about to say at work. Not at work. At kindergarten, but hey, still. Fun, fun, fun. Sleeps make webcob brain development fun. Are you making a cobweb meme, or is that what you wanted to say? Like sleep helps with your cobweb brain? You make her work already. My capitalist ass. Straight to the mines. They yearn for the mine. Yeah, you were mimicking, but I was trying to to get the sentence. So for backend, you can use framework called Gin, and for database, ORM, you can use GORM. That's it. Comment. Yeah, I think I understand. Okay. Object relational model. Okay, I had no clue. Thank you. I'm like, ORM? I'm going to Google. Object relational model. I guess I should probably Google what the fuck this is first. Let's get our ass going. First of all, you, shut up. You, open up. The object relational model is a database model that combines features of both relational database and object-oriented programming. It is designed to bridge the gap between how data is represented in a programming language as objects and how it is stored in relational database as tables. Okay, so it's just like a simpler way to map your objects to specific things. Cool. I don't now... wrong. I don't know GORM, but I guess it's a Go implementation of it. Yeah. Instead of OD writing SQL manually or something, you use objects and method. Okay, I see. So essentially, you're telling me that I implemented this shit myself. All right, I'm good. I'm good, Chief. Yep. Another day, another thing that I should have checked beforehand. But hey, no, we did it for some good reasons, okay? I hope. Anyway. But hey, you at least learned something using this. This is like what's important is friends you you made along the way. This is I'm buying some cope right now. I'm buying the biggest amount of cope. All right. All right. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What are you feeling for today? GOM are great for business. I guess you wanted to say ORM. ORM are great for business and large distributed database, but for FastDB, direct SQL is faster, but more complicated. Yeah, so there's probably like some advantage of whatever the fuck I'm doing. Like, I remember we were contemplating this at the start, MB, like 100 episodes ago. About like how we were going to redo the whole fucking thing. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with the system we have. I think that it's pretty pretty simple for us to work with and pretty efficient. So yeah, I didn't write any code. I used my time today to learn a little bit more about how to edit things in order to well, call people out, I think. Like if we take a look. I don't know. Will it show up? Maple circuit. No, Maples statecraft. That's that's the fucking picture we got. That's the one we like, okay? So yeah. It's not the best edit, but I'm getting there. I never suggested from ORM, but suggested SQL Alchemy, another tool. Yeah, but well, that's what I'm talking about, right? We were talking about tools to help bind objects to the SQL itself. But no, we never talked about ORM directly. I agree. I don't know, I didn't do much today. I didn't watch the news. What the fuck's going? Saudi Arabia launched covert attack on Iran as regional war widens. Ah, that's why the stocks were taking a dump? Ah, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, cool. Cool. We have antivirus coming in. Yes, inflation. You have to be careful with ORMs, though. If you pick specific data, attributes, whatever, you can do a lot of queries. So if you host on cloud, e.g. AWS, bill goes brr. Yeah, it sounds like an easy trap for this, right? But a nice full ORM take care of everything behind the scene, more convenient for the dev that don't want to bother with SQL backend. Yep, would agree with that. Oh my god. Oh no, not my Starmer. Can't you hear the Britishness coming out of this man? Do we have a zoom in on that? Oh man. Since I love SQL, I don't tend to go with those solutions. That's probably my feeling too, but it's the type of things that if I end up using ORM, like a technology linked to that, I'll be like hooked on it, and I'll find myself thinking like, oh my god, how retarded am I? Yeah, I used it for a local app. I stored data in SQLite, in Go. You use the same struct like in C as model for the database in Go. I can send you an example. Yeah. If you... Oh, maybe you already have. Or not. No, it's Sam spamming me. Well, he's a British overlord. As anyone is. Okay. Oh. Spam. Why? Oh. Be careful, I use light team. My friend, we're on routers right now. That means that blinding people is my sport. Let me share. Okay. Type post struct. Gorm. Dot model. Okay. Title. String. Form text, not null, form title. Body. String. User ID. uint. User gorm foreign key. Okay, I see. That looks cool. Yeah. That's chill. How do you define links between objects? Isn't true foreign keys like this? It's the clarity here. So it's truly just like one single SQL setup, I guess. Like I kind of did this whenever I was using name tuple. User has array of type posts. Yes. Oh, you were talking about links. Okay, yeah, that makes sense as well. I don't see it. Oh. Is it the color? There's text over here. There's like 3 rows of text per thing. Can you copy paste the text? It will probably be easier. But hey, streamer mode. I see it. I don't see it in the code. Okay. I love it. Post is here. So this is type post. So here is an array post. So it's an array of this. And then the foreign key, user ID, is linked to this. So yeah. Yeah, post and on top post. Yeah, it took me a while to see it as well. Okay, Brent did, and don't worry. Like I said, took me a while too. And those structs are both data type and model for the arm. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I vibe this. We're vibing. You know what I'm keeping here? I need you with us. I need you with us, gear. Okay. What do we have to check for news? And for example, if you want to get posts with specific ID, you can do. Oh, I'll share when you give. So, who is this guy? Do we want it in our government here in Canada? Oh, you do you know what's going on with here? Do you know anything about the UK? That's probably the better question. That's is he based? That's a hard one, my friend. I know some things. Okay, so TLDR. You know how Mark Carney, like, let's get that. Like you have, let's take the right color. You have Mark Carney, and you have like the vibe. And Mark Carney absolutely captured the vibe, right? The vibe is a slave to Mark. Well, Keir is the inverse. So Keir is essentially like Trudeau right now. Everybody hates him. And the worst part of it is that just like Trudeau, he's actually trying. And he's actually getting some shit done. So, yeah, it's just sad because the UK is essentially in the process of self-combusting. I don't know if they will show... Okay. UK polling. Not pooling, polling. Like, look at this fucking war crime. So, reform is essentially like Poiliev, but on steroid. We're like in between PPC, Parti Populaire du Canada, and conservative with reform. So, that's the light blue. So right now, red is Keir. It's Labour. It's their like liberal government. So yeah, shit is kind of fucked because the conservative has been running their country for like the last 13 years. Then Labour came in. Yeah, came in. It was a big thing. But here they're about to fuck themselves. Another time. But no, we wouldn't want him. Okay, he's bad vibes. He doesn't fit the vibe. EDB preload author first post CPRM ID preload data for other user that write a specific post and return post first that come with this ID. Okay, so that's like how you make a query. Oh, okay, okay, no, I get it. Good. All good. I didn't see that it was quoted. I thought that it was variables, but now that I see that it's quoted, makes a bit more sense. So here we replace by the actual values, and indeed it is a query, but it's not like a template for a query, it's the actual query. I got it. Okay, thank you. But yeah, life seems rough. I would drink some fucking antifreeze if I was in the UK right now. Holy shit. I'm so happy to be Canadian. There's like not only that, but all the metrics are fucked for them as well. GDP growth, right, and what's the international thing that came out? World Bank? No. Who were the people that we reviewed their fucking documents? IMF? Nah, was it? Wasn't the oh, it was. 1.5, 0.8. Like they're like if we think we have low low growth, or their ass is eating grass. Yep. Anyway, they're like having 15 different type of crisis, and I think that their bond market is a little bit fucked as well, because their inflation is a little bit too it's a little bit fucked. Like, we're kind of cheating because Canada's got an insane deal there, but 5% for the yield for the 10K bond. 10-year bond, sorry. And Canada 10-year bond, 3.5%. Brother, it's not comparable. Yeah, Poland is always doing great on growth. There's no doubt about that, but this data is... Am I mistaken? The report was different on the data. I don't think that we're talking about the same report. But yes, Poland always has a fairly big growth, as is the rest of the region. But, like, that's some... Like, there's some good management there. Like, we can pat Poland on the back. They're doing something right to get that kind of growth. But also, fuck. I just want to be clear about what I'm saying when I'm saying doing some good things. It seems, at least that's my understanding, that economies have these platforms where, let's say you're essentially like, let's create some levels. Let's start at red, orange, yellow, blue, and green, right? Your economy will essentially, like, when you start and you're like a little kingdom with people doing like subsistence fucking farming, you're gonna have like some type of growth, and this growth is going to be like 10% per year or 30% per year because of how shitty you're starting off. And then you get into the next range, which is like industrialization, where you're now, like, I'm pitching numbers, but this is like 30% growth. This is essentially getting people out of poverty in 5 minutes. And then there's your 10% growth, and then there's your 5, 3, and like 1 to 2%. So there's these levels that kind of exist. And this is why the US is so OP, is because the US is essentially here, but still manages to command like some pretty insane growth. And it's essentially all because everybody invests in them. Levels for me: red, brown, green, yellow, purple, green, yellow, pinkish. No! But, yeah. So right now, like, if we use this scale, Canada, in terms of like how developed their economy here, could be like debated. Like, it's somewhere in this range, right? And where Poland would probably be somewhere in here. So is it normal for them to have their 3%? Like, keep in mind, these are like, this is not clinical, okay? I don't fucking know. But is it normal for them to have that 3%? It's more normal in Canada. If Canada would hit the exact same GDP growth, that would be fucking unhinged. I would be jumping out of my seat, right? But it's still good. And, like, to address this, I still wonder how it's possible, because a lot of big companies are closing. But yeah, I don't know how it works. So there's a thing that is very counterintuitive. That is that when you have high growth, especially when you already have an economy to begin with, right? When you're in this step, you will also have a lot of change and a lot of people Sorry, I'll need to back the fucking Zeus of the sun. We got fucking Ra in here trying to smite me down, okay? We've got some Egyptian gods smiting my face. Okay. So when you're like in the upper range, you will see a lot of this. So the way that I can maybe visualize closing, why there's closing of industries and closing of big companies, is because let's say that you have an economy where all the jobs are making steel, right? Making steel, you need to mine, you need to, or at least have the raw ore, you need to like have all of these big things in order to make some steel, and your output is fairly limited. So let's say that you have 1 million worker. Those 1 million worker doing steel can only output some amount. Let's say 100 value points, okay? 100 value points. But if, let's bring some fucking colors in here, 100 value points. But if you are to change from making steel to making, let's say, pharmaceuticals, those same 1 million worker will be able to do something with 1,000 value point. So that means that while you grow, more likely all of the factories doing this shit will close because they cannot compete with the pay that the pharmaceuticals can give them. So the pharmaceutical, they can employ all the people they want for a big ass salary, which means that you have your GDP growth because you're making an export that, well, not only because of the export, but you're making something that has more value. But also people get paid more, they can spend more, like it's beneficial all the way around. So when we say, oh shit, companies are closing, is it actually a problem, right? That's why, maybe you were not there, or maybe you were, who gives a fuck. In my early streams, I was talking sometime about, do we actually need to keep the auto workers in Canada? So in Canada, we have a big fucking pool of people that work to make cars. And it's a big problem because right now the US is tariffing our ass for the cars. So like there's always a debate, what do we do for them? What do we do for them? Do we do X? Do we do Y? But the real question is, maybe making cars is something that is below what our like standard econ, what our standard for a job should be in our country. Maybe we're at this point where we should have not necessarily these people precisely, but we should focus not on making cars, but on making something more complex, something that requires more training, like we could say AI, we could say computer science, right? It takes way more knowledge to have somebody program than to have someone do a fucking car. Because the fucking car is, it's 99% retard that essentially press buttons or make sure that the machine doesn't fuck up. But you still have a limited output. You cannot spray out infinite car at a time with one person like managing the production. So it's you see, it's complicated. Business closing can be the sign of progress. My home city was once the biggest producer of paper, essentially in the fucking country. They all closed. It was a fucking bloodbath. But the truth is, I wouldn't want to live here if we were still making paper. This is not like polluting the water, polluting the air. That sounds like AIDS. And the people that work there, like working conditions are garbage. Like everything is bad about this. But like at some point, at some specific time in history, there was a time where there's probably a bunch of people that were yelling, please help us, please make sure that they don't need to go, please don't make them close. But no, they needed to go. Sounds interesting. On the other hand, situation like COVID showed the chain of whatever it was called, relying on outside on everything is risky, but I don't know, it's shaky. This is where maybe I can give a bit more of a background there, and maybe you'll even we can link it back to how our two countries interact, okay? So every country on Earth needs some basic things. We need our water. We need our water. We need our food. We need our steel. We need our aluminum. Like, there's a bunch of basic fucking thing. WAFs. Okay. There's a bunch of basic things that we need, and we want to always have access to it. Now, there's two paths of making these accessible. So let's start with the first one, which is kind of a Trump-style approach, which the real word for it is autarky. Oh. How do we write that shit? Autark. Is it with a K? Okay, yes, autarky. Okay, autarky. So, autarky. Autarky. Okay, is this idea that you can produce everything at home. So, if you need steel, you mine the ore, you melt it, you do everything at home. Now, the other, like, way to solve this, so to make sure that you don't have to do everything at home, sorry, I didn't specify. Autarky is bad. And the reason why autarky is bad is because you have a bunch of people that end up doing things that your economy is technically, like, way above doing. So, for example, let's say that Poland tomorrow wants to be, or is an autarky, right? So they produce everything at home. Now, let's say that you want to have your AI data center and have, like, your highly educated people, like, work a job. Well, fuck. Maybe we cannot have the AI data center because we need people in the mines. We need people getting the coal. We need people getting the minerals. So instead of going and taking something from another country that's not as developed, and for them, they will be glad to extract their fucking soil to sell it to you. Instead of going to another country to do that, you'll have to have some kind of person that could be way better doing something else, doing something retarded. Yeah, I get it. Growing bananas or ultra complicated electronics can be done in Poland, but for example, pharma, most effective pharmaceutical ingredient in med in the EU from China 80%. It was a bloodbath in EU during COVID. It was a bloodbath in Canada too. But here, okay, you get that part. That's good. We skip. Okay, let's stop with the boring. Here's the second solution, and if you ever hear Mark Carney talk about the EU, that's what he's talking about. So the other solution to the problem of we don't want to be caught in a situation where we don't have enough of a thing is to make sure that you have a big group of country, and that group of country is inside of a big agreement, and that agreement essentially says we have these resources, and these resources, they are all of our resources. By that I mean that on the market, there will be this guaranteed amount. So for example, let's say that we're talking about cobalt. I should have used blue for cobalt. Okay, cobalt. Let's say that all of the countries, they need about 100 tons of cobalt. Well, then we could say, hey, Canada, you've got some cobalt? You're gonna be the cobalt miner. And then, let's say that we need iron or coal. We need coal, okay? We need some cold fucking coal. Hey, Poland, you already have your coal mine. You're doing it way more optimal than us. You're going to be mining all the coal that we need. And by grouping a bunch of like-minded country that makes these big agreement, and let's be clear, we're not talking about making like one cobalt agreement and one it's a big fucking ledger where we all agree that this person will be producing all of these things, not necessarily one person, but this group will be doing these things, this group will be doing these things, and creating the supply chains to be able to have predictable quantities of each things, and to be able to know that no matter what happened on the market, there is going to be this specific amount of each specific things, makes it so you don't have to become an autarky. You don't have to worry about X or Y happening in the global market. Because if tomorrow crisis happen and we all need coal, we know that Poland will have this amount of coal, and we probably, like, in how the economy is managed, has been created, this has all been calculated. There's, like, risk adjustment that has been done. There's a bunch of things that can be done to make sure that we never lack anything, or if we lack it, or if we lack something, is because we're in an insane situation that essentially the cost of putting things aside for that situation is ridiculous. So this is what Mark Carney is right now trying to sell to essentially whoever the fuck listens. Okay, I'll try to fucking unfuck myself right now. So, like, this is a better world because dragging, like, where it would cost us $10 per kilogram to extract, let's say, cobalt in Poland or anywhere else. In Canada, maybe it costs $1 per kilogram. I'm making shit up, okay? This is not true, but hey. It costs way less, while for coal, the same thing is true, but in reverse, right? So having this system make it so it's cheaper for everyone. Everyone has a guarantee of having a quantity of thing, and as long as everybody essentially roughly follows the charter that we create, we end up winning. Mark Carney, my prime minister. Jesus Christ, okay? Himself, the man, the legend. Isn't he? I think his name is Mark John Carney or something. So, Jesus Christ. Can we have his full fucking name? Mark Joseph Carney. Haha. Please don't start talking about coal because I'm pissed about this. About what? Speak, my friend. Speak your mind. Coal specifically, but let's not go there. Oh, don't start. Okay, I thought don't stop. I don't know why, sorry. Don't start talking about coal because I'm pissed about this. Okay. Well, I could yap about it all I want. Like, there's nothing bad about coal in and of itself. It's just that we need to realize that its use is not efficient. And just like having 16 classes being queried to make, like, one simple thing work, it's probably better to not use coal. Gotta love my Mark. Mark. Coal by itself in the ground is not bad. Leave coal alone in the ground. Well, yes and no, right? You can make filters out of coal, I think. Like, coal is... am I retarded? Coal is just carbon, right? It's just a very somewhat pure form of carbon. There's a lot of good shit. Like, you can make diamond with... Coal is mostly carbon. Yeah, so you can make diamond with coal, right? So let's not knock it down, but like pretending that we need to expand it That's a that's a rough sell. Like at that point, there's probably a way better path to 99% of what you want to do. We already have enough. That's my point. Ohio. Get my Ohio number of coal mines. Yeah. Okay. Let's have the electricity map and feel good about ourselves. Oh, that feels good. Look, we're selling power. Sell more power. Why are we buying power? Oh, no. Are we exporting more? Oh, yeah, we're exporting the fuck out. Why are we... I would like to understand why we're buying here. What's the point? I wonder what's the price for each of these things. But hey. Yes, carbon filter from coal exists, but it is more efficient to start with graphite, both for filter and diamond. Isn't that like the same thing? Am I retarded? Like when I say the same thing, I mean like essentially the same mineral, just one you're taking only the purest form. Graphite. Like my understanding is it is in the same exact mine, or maybe I'm retarded. So let's, you know what? Let's coal. Graphite naturally occurs in ores. Fucking hell, I messed up my reading there. Graphite occurs naturally in ores that can be classified as either amorphous, microcrystalline, or crystalline, flakes or lumps, chip, which is determined by the ore morphology, crystallinity, and grain size. All naturally occurring graphite deposits are formed from metamorphism or carbonaceous sedimentary rock, and the ore type is due to geologic setting. Goddamn words. Coal that has been thermally metamorphosed is a typical source of amorphous graphite. Okay, so it's a different thing. Well, it comes from the same thing, but it's been like treated somewhat. Yep, got it. I got it, chief. Okay. TLDR in the EU, we have emission trading system, but they decided that entities outside of EU can trade them. Long story short, because of them mining coal in EU isn't profitable, Polish coal plants buy coal from Africa left my ass off. Yeah. Well then, like this could, like there's two ways to see what you're saying here, and I don't know which answer it is. So there's one reality where maybe the Polish economy, maybe if we go back to the drawing, you know what, we'll make a new one. Maybe this is the Polish economy where like jobs should be higher wage or productivity in order to be worth doing. Maybe coal sits here. So it's kind of in range, not enough so that we should delete it, but not enough so that we should make more. So if that is the case, that coal is in this range, this would be a good move, because we would want to suppress the amount of coal being produced so that we can replace these jobs by more profitable, more, I don't have the right word, more productive jobs. But here, the entire argument will be where we are in this graph, right? Because yes, there's always pain, right? There's the coworker losing his job is triggered as fuck, and there's pain on his side. But the truth is that even this coworker, maybe that's working on an auto plant, he would be slightly higher, and he would be more productive for himself and for his country. So, who knows? Like coal is a pretty low thing to do. So that's like my big question here is, where is Poland? But I can understand the pain. I have a problem with entities outside of EU trading emissions. Banks from the whole world can use them for investing, in which is pumping price of emitting CO2. Doesn't make sense to me. We would need to look into how that system is working, because there's probably like a big reason. Like my understanding, we have a carbon trading system in Quebec. We have the same as California. So California and Quebec are linked for that. And it seems to be working a lot. Like, it seems to not be an issue. But the thing is, and with that, Stan, I would want you to look at this and like be the fucking brightest people from your whole family, okay? I want you to be the best expression of your genetic stock, okay? When we're talking about these policies about carbon emissions, they're always, the optics is garbage with them. People are always going to hate them, because what you're saying is essentially, we're going to choose some jobs have to die. And that's always a hard fucking sell, because the person losing its job will feel it, and the politician that wants to have the vote for the person that lost his job, well, he's going to make some he's going to make some shit up, right? He doesn't give a fuck. He's going to say whatever the fuck he wants in order to make sure that the person that lost his job votes for him. And keep in mind, let's go one step further in our thinking. The person that lost his job doesn't necessarily, like, this person didn't lose on anything. There's a world where this person is getting paid $20 an hour in the coal mine, and now he's in the car plant, he's getting paid $21 an hour, but in his head, he's like, I lost my job, right? And he's going to blame the carbon tax or whatever the fuck. So you have to be very, very focused. You have to get as much detail as possible, because people want to spin narrative to capture these people, because it's so easy to capture them. Like it happens in Canada. We trashed our carbon tax. So Quebec is under one system and the rest of Canada is under another system. The rest of Canada dumped most of their carbon pricing because of like retarded politicians that were doing exactly this. So we need to like no, listen, I'm now talking about trading emissions, not law itself. Okay, let's trade them, but I don't want some retard from USA make price from it so high that specific branches of economy don't make sense just because of that. Like, okay, I'm not trying to be pedantic here. I'm trying to understand, and maybe we should just open up the fucking regulations. I understand what you're saying, okay? I understand when you're saying that it's retarded, that someone from, let's take the big evil right now, the US, could come into your economy and essentially says, I want to make money on whatever the system is, so I'll do, like, I'll buy and I'll inflate the price of X in order to make profit, and this makes some kind of thing happen in your economy. That feels fucking garbage. I agree with that, okay? That's a bad feeling. When you say, not the law itself, Oh, okay, I think I understand that part now. When you say not the law itself, you mean that the like the carbon trading in and of itself, or the regulation or the law, that's not the problem. It's the foreign intervention part. Okay, got it. I guess, can we have access to that? By have access to that, I mean, is it fucking crazy complicated? EU carbon pricing mechanism. Okay. Let's try to read a little bit and see if it's retarded. Okay. The EU carbon pricing mechanism primarily relies on the emission trading system and the carbon border adjustment mechanism to reduce greenhouse gas emission and incentive cleaner production. The emission trading system. The EU ETS is a cap and trade system, the same one that we have in Quebec, by the way, for MB. Is a cap and trade system that sets a limit on total emission for power generator, energy intensive industry and aviation, covering roughly 40% of EU emission. Company receives and buy emission allowances, which they can trade, creating a market-driven carbon price. The EU reduces the cap over time, tightening the system to drive emission reductions. The recent reform, the Fit for 55 package, recent reforms under the Fit for 55 package aims to accelerate the reduction of allowance and expand coverage to maritime transport, building, road transport through the new ETS2, scheduled for 2027-2028. Member state may implement a national carbon tax as an alternative to ETS2, with a price around 40 euros per ton. Yeah, it's complicated. It's EU law after all. True. But that felt like we were trade. Look, I'll read that up, but we can like. Because, fuck. Okay, you know what? Let's go step by step, okay? Because or else we get retarded. So let's just try to understand how this works, okay? So what we already read. What we already read is we have a system that is the EU, and this system says that for this list, let's make it dev coded, okay? This list of different industries are counted toward a big count for carbon. And there is essentially a max that exists. And this max we reduce over time. So through that, the companies, they have to either A, reduce their emission because there's a cost that they have to like buy their permit for the emission, or B, be under the expected emission for their industry. So if you're, let's say, producing oil and you're expected to, like, for every 100 barrels of oil, you're expected to like produce 1 ton of CO2. Let's just make shit up, okay? Well, if you're only producing, I don't know, 0.1, then you get credits that you can then sell to other people that pollute more. So like this system should, if the X here for the max, and if the values for specific industries, if they're put correctly, this is a very good system. Like right now I'm not debating anything that you're saying, Stan, by the way. Right now I'm just framing what the fuck the system is, and then we'll get into foreign investors, because like here I think that's where the crux of the issue is. So let's wait. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? Can I just have one thing, please? Not 5,000 things. Okay. So, search specifically for trade inf emission. Is it because you didn't write it in full, I guess? Trade. EU. Yeah, it comes the investment bank with ETS future. Oh, wait. ETS futures. ETS futures are right to engage in trading EU emission trucks allowance. The points trading are split into futures contract. Yeah, but you wait. Wait, we're having a misunderstanding here. Okay. I just want to... I don't want to strawman you. I want to steelman you. Is the argument that... Okay, no. Let's be clearer. In your mind, is the main source of this issue trading like the ETF directly? Like, we're not talking about some complicated scheme of I have a business in Poland and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. We're talking about like stock trader buying and selling. Is that what we're talking about here? I hope I was clear. Generally, companies, countries buy specific emission allowances or whatever, and then sometimes decide that European Energy Exchange start doing ETF future, so you don't have to have any business in the EU to influence the market. Okay, I get what you're saying. I'll get there. I'm trying to think about the best way to convey what I want to convey. Okay. Let's start by making categories for things, okay? So the first thing, let's just use this website as an example. So here they have spot, futures, and option, which is essentially futures, that is disguised inside of a option contract. So let's forget about options because it's essentially a second time future. So spot, I'll just do the TLDR even if you know. So spot is trading the actual thing. So if I trade spot of oil, I'm expected to deliver actual oil. So when we talk about foreign trader, they're never going to trade the spot price of a thing, because that would be retarded. Now, futures are not the thing. They're essentially a thing where we say this specific token, this specific thing, we believe that it is... I'm phrasing this wrong. Okay. Futures are a contract between two people. So future, at least in that context, you need two people. You need one person that sells the... why did I do a graph? You need one person that sells the futures, and one person, of course, that buys the future. Both of them agree that at the end of this transaction, there is no underlying, like, actual fucking emission permit that is going to be issued. Like, none of that will happen. But what they agree on is after X period, this specific token that the seller sells will retrieve the actual value of whatever the fuck it is on the spot. So if the spot is at like $50, well, your token that you sold will now retrieve its $50. So if you thought it was going to make money, if you like sold it at 40, fuck, it's the inverse. If you sell it at 40, the seller is getting fucked, the buyer won, if we want to use like strong wording. So that's what futures are. It's this trade. Now, unless your market is fucked, this should essentially never influence the price of the underlying thing. I tried to see how you would do this. Okay, let me be precise. Because one thing that we could say, let's say that I'm a politician and I want to sell the exact idea that you're making. I would say there's more people that are interested in buying these things, so price go up. But the truth is, with futures, we're not only, like, we're talking about both sides. It's not only someone talking about buying the thing, but there's also more people selling the thing. Or else you wouldn't be, like, it wouldn't be interesting to have a market because you would have a premium for your future. Your future would have a specific, like, price that you would have to pay a premium for in order to participate in that market. And nobody would want to participate in that market. By premium, I mean, like, something that removes from your underlying profit if the market was perfect. So, like, I'm really trying. I'm trying to see... Can we have an example of somebody complaining about it? Are raising the price of pollution. I guess carbon would be a better price. Oh, cool. Because technically, let's... Like, I have a feeling it's going to talk about this. Technically, you have a good effect that comes from this. It's the heightened liquidity that you have. Because now, instead of only having the pool... Let's go back down here. Okay. Instead of only having the money of the participant in the EU carbon market, you also have the money of the people outside the market that are essentially trading a derivative of it. So there's more liquidity. Your ability to find money in order to make your transaction, your ability to find the right price, and by find the right price, I mean that the seller, like the seller sometime will want to sell at a specific price. So let's say $15. And the buyer will want to buy at a specific price, let's say $12. In a market that is highly illiquid, you will have these insane difference between the price. Where if your market is more liquid, what you'll find is instead of having these big differences, what you will find is something that feels more like this. So you will have 14.5, let's say, and 14.6. So your range of traded value will be way closer. So instead of being penalized for a transaction on either side, then you get a closer spread, which is advantageous for everyone. And that's just by having this added liquidity into your market. But hey, that's some bullshit. This this study investigate the dynamic spillover effect between the European Union allowance EUA futures and major commodity futures, including energy oh fuck, it's not talking about the right thing. Okay, that's talking. This research specifically, it's talking about how the actual future, well, not the future, but how the tax affect the thing, not the future itself. I've sent a link to the research. Okay, let's get in. Thank you for engaging, by the way. Love it. Love it. Okay. Oh man, that's exactly what we were talking about. Can I download it? Ah, yes. Get me the fuck in! Or is this like better shown? I don't know. Zoom that shit in. Okay. Fuck this. Can I mute the music for a second? Or maybe it's better with the music. Who the fuck knows? Okay. What the fuck happened here? Bro, let me watch my shit. Okay. I need to get locked the fuck in. Okay. Re-examining the efficiency of the EU carbon futures market in Phase 2, price discovery, and intertemporal arbitrage. Arbitrage is the, like, trying to sell the difference between multiple markets. So if the EU has a specific price for a thing, and Africa has a specific price for a thing, and you think that you can, like, ship it or, like, reduce your stock in one place and have more stock in another place, you can make money in the difference. Muted music is better for this. Thank you. Okay. Let's fucking get serious, okay? And price discovery is exactly what I was talking about. Or, fuck, it can also be used for another thing. It can be used to actual price discovery, which is when you go somewhere that the price actually never went, so you create a new value based on a loose consensus on the market and how much people want to pay for a thing. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Okay. Carbon future market plays an important role in energy conservation and emission reduction of energy-intensive firms, and its efficiency is largely reflected by the dynamic relationship between carbon spot price and future prices. Even though the EU carbon futures market has undergone 3 phases, its efficiency in Phase 2 still contains much controversy. Method. Based on the cost of carry model, we apply linear and nonlinear Granger causality test, vector error correction model, and threshold vector error correction model to re-examine the efficiency of the carbon futures market in the second phase of the European Union emission trading system from the perspective of price discovery and intemporal arbitrage. Ooh, I'm gonna be honest, I have no fucking clue what this means, okay? I'm not smart enough, but hey, we'll see. In other words, they fed data to an AI and asked a question. No. That ain't it. That ain't it. Okay, that's been reviewed, and it's all from Okay, I have no reason to doubt what the fuck we're going to read. Good, let's go. The EU carbon future market has the function of price discovery by virtue of the broad scope of participants and the consequent huge liquidity. Am I retarded? Okay, I'm going to like probably read it multiple times because sometimes I feel like I'm fucking skipping things. God damn, there's multiple arguments to this? Okay, one at a time. The EU carbon futures market as the function of price discovery by virtue of the broad scope of participants and the consequent huge liquidity, suggesting that the carbon future price can predict the carbon spot price. So this is what I was going at the start, but let me explain it in better words. I want to make money on pollution. I believe that pollution will cost more in a month than what most people think it will cost. So I will buy this futures, we could call it a token, but let's just call it fucking futures. Okay, I have future contract. Okay, I'll buy this contract and then the price will most likely map what the actual spot price will be in the future. So the future attempts to have a future view of what the spot price should be. So here, let's just divide this. Here they're talking about the future market. What's the function of the future market? Price discovery. So essentially trying to get the price of a thing. By virtue of the broad scope of participants and the consequent huge liquidity. So because there's a lot of motherfucker that are playing in it, and because there's a lot of money going in it. So here we're making a reference to the fact that our spread is not insane. We have a lot of liquidity, spread is close, and the precision on our future, if we were to use it as like an index of what things will be, is better than using the spot price, which there's less people playing in it. Suggesting that the carbon future price can predict the carbon spot price. All of that in the goal of predicting the price. That's how they make their money. That's what they want to do. Okay. So, okay, those are the results. So they're saying this is true. Or am I retarded? Yeah, I think that's the idea. So first thing, we've explained that. Okay, 2. The coefficient requirement of the cost of carry model is satisfied, and the relationship between the EUA, the European Union Allowance Futures, and the spot price is consistent with the cost of carry model, which indicates that the former is an unbiased estimator of the latter, and an equilibrium relationship exists between the two prices so that the carbon futures market is efficient in the long run. I'm gonna have to brush off what the fuck this is. Cost of carry model. The cost of carry model calculates the net cost or benefit of holding an asset until a future date, forming the basis for the pricing futures and forward contract. Okay, so here, let's just reread this in retard's word, okay? So the coefficient requirement of the cost of carry model, I'm not sure I'm understanding this. What do we mean by coefficient requirement? Do we mean the... like there's a cost baked in any contract because of because of the fact that there's risk. Is that what we're talking about? Bro, stop checking me. I'm not a bot. Coefficient. Okay. Sadly, I'll have to guess this one. The coefficient requirement of the cost of carry model is satisfied, and the relationship between the European Union allowance future and the spot prices is consistent with the cost of carry model, which indicates that the former is an unbiased estimator of the latter, and an equilibrium relationship exists between the two prices, so that the carbon futures market is efficient in the long run. Okay, maybe I'm wrong because of my lack of knowledge here, but my understanding from reading this, I mislick, sorry. My understanding from reading this is futures work by trying to guess the price, and risk is baked into this price. So if there's a big risk that the price might go up, but there's like a small risk, like if we say 50%, fuck, that's a better way to say it. If we say 50% chance that the price is $10 and 50% chance that the price is $20, your price should be $15, okay? That's what I fucking mean. So what they're saying is risk adjusted, this shit tracks the actual price of the thing. The people on the futures market, they're not making things up. They're truly trying to target wherever the fuck the spot market will be. Okay. However, the carbon futures market shows inefficiencies in the short run, since it has an error correction function only when the basis is less than minus 0.07, and the carbon future price indicates a remarkably slow adjustment to the long-run equilibrium when there is deviation, which can be ascribed to the global financial crisis as well as its aftermath in 2008. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about 1,500 things. Fucking ADHD brain. Okay. You know what? We'll finish this, and after that, I'll ask my questions. Okay. However, the carbon future market shows inefficiencies in the short run. So, short run, I don't know what they mean by short run, but we're probably talking about like a week's time. So, if we're talking about a short term, 1 week, trying to guess the price of a thing, it says that it's inefficient, since it has an error correction function only when the basis is less than minus 0.07. I have no fucking clue what they mean by this. Do they mean that the price will move only when the change is greater than this? Wait, what? And the carbon future price indicates a remarkably slow adjustment to the long-run equilibrium when there is deviation. Okay, so what I'm getting from this, I could be wrong. This one is the lowest. Third one is my lowest understanding. My understanding of what they're saying is if we have like a big variation within a short time frame, so let's say that this is a month, where some market will be way the fuck more active and will just essentially track at every point what the thing is supposed to be priced at, what the spot market is. There is a difference between, like, let's say that blue is the spot price and the futures price is in green, so future. It would look like that. Because it's, well, here I'm making it look like it's always lower, but that's not the point. Like, it would take the change, but it would be slower to get there. So there's kind of a, we could say, a delay. That's my understanding from the carbon, from that part precisely. The carbon futures price indicates a remarkably slow adjustment to the long-run equilibrium when there is deviation. So we're talking about change here. Here we go. Which can be ascribed to the global financial crisis as well as the aftermath of 2008. So I guess that this, I should look into this, right? But I guess that what they mean here is that people are slower to change their already existing guess because of what happened here. But I don't, weirdly enough, I'm not sure that I understand this part. Like when they say that it can be ascribed to it, I would like to know what the fuck they're talking about. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. Nice meme. Okay. Basis is difference between future and spot price. When the basis is less than... Yes, that's how I took it. But still, like my... No, I guess it's easy. I'm just trying to overthink it. I'm retarded, sorry. Okay. However, the carbon futures market shows inefficiency in the short run since it has an error correction function only when the basis is less than this. So it makes change on a on the short run. It can only make shorter change because of how people like tweak their shit. Okay, I think I get it. But here, okay, Stan. What do you think we got from this? Do you think that this argues that the price is pushed up by international pressures? Oh, they're saying the inverse. They're saying, okay, I get what you're saying, but oh shit, there's like 15 ways that I can go. I just don't know how you think about markets. And that's probably shit. Okay, I'll explain a thing, and if it doesn't make sense, it's okay. I have like other ways to go about it. I'm just not sure that I like got you, okay? I'm not sure that I understand your vision, where the camera is aimed, okay? So let's reread the first one because I think that it addresses this. So the EU carbon futures market as the function of price discovery. So price discovery, knowing a thing before it happens, as a function of price discovery by virtue of the broad scope of participant and the consequent huge liquidity. A lot of people on a thing, a lot of money on a thing. Goal is to know what the thing will be. Suggesting that the carbon future price can predict the carbon spot price. So here there's essentially setting up the future argument that says, can we, if we are to look at the futures market, are we going to be right most of the time? Are we going to like correctly follow what the spot price will be? And what they're saying is yes. But let's be clear about what they're saying here. They're not saying that spot price is following the futures. What they're saying here is future is really good at knowing where spot will be, right? Your correlation here, you kind of flipped it. So when they say price discovery, they don't mean like we're discovering it for the spot. They mean, fuck. I'm not sure if what I said just made sense to you. I'll explain it in another way because I'm making a fucking clip out of this for sure. But a way to see markets that makes them make more sense, especially when we're talking about derivatives, is to think about markets as a truth. So, I'm sorry, my daughter was coughing the fuck up. Give me half a second, okay? I'll put the music. Okay, I just flashbanged my daughter for nothing. Okay. It's all good, okay? Putting comments is always good, putting things, because people have the same questions as you, okay? People ask the same questions. Okay, my errors are always the bad one. Okay. So, I want you to think about markets as a truth, okay? So let's draw this out just to show you how I think about markets and how it would probably help if you thought about market that way when we're talking about derivatives. So let's look at a market, okay? So let's say that we are on day one, no matter the month, okay? We're day one. And let's start here. We're on day one. And the market, if we were in the future, and we know the future, the value of whatever we're talking about, okay, we could be talking about oil, we could be talking about some other thing, the market will do this, right? The truth is that the market will do this. Like, God commanded the market to do this. So this is no, I'm not writing future here. So let's say that in all the worlds, the market does this. The goal of the future is to know this ahead of time. Now, the future is not perfect. So maybe the guy that is here in this position, he doesn't know everything. Even if he's trying to get the value here and he's trying to guess it, he's going to say, I think the price is going to be here because I have all of this value, all of that. And I think the price is going to be here. But the fact that this guy says that doesn't change the value of the market. The market will still move in the way it's supposed to move. You could shove billions of dollars into that futures contract, into these transactions. This spot price would not move. The people engaging in that future market could, But there's nothing here like that. This won't change anything. Okay. Go to the conclusion. Well, I was looking at result, but we can look at conclusion. Normally the top is there to for retards like us. But I'll go for it. For the maple summary, I get that long term is okay, but short term isn't that good at predicting because of past recent events. Now, I don't know how those events, more than 10 years, influence markets. I don't know if that's the best way to say it because I'm not even sure I understood, but it's all good. By I understood, I mean that. I'll read this. Is this written? You're quoting right now? Fuck. I want to find it in here so that we can read the whole fucking thing. Conclusion. Okay. Fucking hell. All right, I'm in. Oh, okay. 4 equals from. From the maple summary. Oh, okay. Yes, well, I didn't understood that I was the source, but hey, I was just trying to understand this, but it's okay. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, conclusion. Global warming has posed an enormous challenge to the human society and economic development. Carbon futures can help energy-intensive industry achieve energy conservation and emission reduction. Our paper aims to re-examine the efficiency of the EU carbon futures market in Phase 2, and it extends current literature mainly in 4 ways. First, it is the first paper to test the efficiency of the EU futures market in Phase 2 by linking carbon spot and futures price. Second, in addition to price discovery, it analyzes, I don't fucking know, the efficiency of intertemporal arbitrage between carbon spot and futures market, which has not been studied to the best of our knowledge. Okay, so when they're talking about this, I guess that's a way. Okay, that could be a way. So the idea here. Oh wait, but it would do the reverse. Oh no. Okay. So the idea, if you want to do their intertemporal arbitrage, is to say, if I know that I don't know the future value, but I know that the spot price will be leading the market price. If the spot price will be leading the futures price, I can sell a future and buy a spot in order to I just want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. No, I can sell a spot and buy a future in order to make money. Because if spot and futures are different, you can make money off the people putting their money into futures by trying to push the two together. But when you're doing that, unless we're talking about we would need to go the other way for it to not work. Like right now, from my understanding, it would lower the spot price. So it even works against what we're talking about. Wait. Let's look at a thing. Spot. Yeah, can I get a chart? Well, okay. They're essentially starting to try to see the interplay between the two. But wait, I'm not being clear. I want to be clear. Fuck. It would not necessarily pull the price down. I was thinking about something that always goes up, and that's retarded. So I'm sorry. It would always pull against. Fuck, what's the. Not variability. Against unstable price, against high variability. I don't know how to say it. So if you have a big swing in price that you know that's coming up in whichever side, you the idea is that you could make the arbitrage between the two of them, that this is a possibility because there's a delay in the swing in one where there's no delay in the other. Delay. I want to keep the price where it is. It is inertia. It wants to keep the price where it is. It is inertia. We're not using the right word, and it triggers me, but it's okay. We'll probably run into it anyway. Okay, so they're saying it's not something that has been studied a lot, but they try to do it here. Okay. Third, we take non-linearities of the EU carbon market into account and consequently specify non-linear Granger causality test and the threshold vector error correction model, bridging the gap of existing research, assuming linear relationship between the two price series. I have no fucking clue what this means. I'm just going to assume that they're saying we're doing fancy shit. Fourth, our paper provides meaningful policy implication for emerging carbon markets and their government across the globe. The result of our studies are summarized as follows. First, the EU carbon futures price can process information more efficiently than spot market, i.e., price discovery generally takes place on the EU carbon future market. This makes sense. There's more people playing in it. You're going to get the right price. This can be ascribed to the characteristic of futures trading itself and the wide range of participants in the EU carbon futures market to some extent. So, yeah, we've talked about that ad nauseum. Second, the relationship between the price of the EU carbon futures and the spot is in line with the cost of carry model, and the former is an unbiased estimator of the latter, suggesting that there is a long-term equilibrium relationship between the two price, and the EU carbon futures market shows weak form efficiency in the long run. Okay. I think this is exactly what I got from it. At least none of what I read contradicts whatever the fuck I'm talking about. So the two follow each other, as they should, with the specific part that the futures will not variate, will not like fucking as intensely as the spot. Okay. Okay, where the fuck are we? Third, in view of the non-linearity, the EU carbon future market has an error correction function only when the basis is less than minus 0.07 and the carbon future price indicate a remarkably slower adjustment to the long-run equilibrium than the spot price. Thereby, the EU carbon futures market showing low efficiency of intertemporal arbitrage in the short run. I'm 99% sure that when they say efficiency here, it's efficiency in tracking the price. So that's why they're talking about arbitrage. Like, they're not using efficiency in like, we're not talking about an engine here. Nowadays, let's go on. Like, they're actually, they're reinforcing what the fuck I read earlier. I love it. Nowadays, emerging carbon markets are mushrooming across the globe. Am I drugged? Okay. Across the globe to counteract global warming. Or blooming, or mushrooming? Is this person in fucking Hiroshima? What the fuck is this? Okay. To counteract global warming. However, dependence on the ECX, along with the American counterpart, the Chicago Climate Exchange, okay, European Climate Exchange, I guess, which has also been tested efficient, might not suffice to mitigate global greenhouse effect and combat climate change. Hence, our finding offers the following valuable policy implication for them. First, more industrial sectors, including oil refineries, aviation, and financial institutions, should be incorporated into the carbon trading system in order to diversify the market participant, raise market liquidity, and affect price discovery. Haha, okay. Okay. What this is saying is essentially the futures is okay, but we need more people in the spot, okay? We need to add more people in here, because here it's fucked, but here there's enough people. Oh no. So add more people in. Cool. They're literally, they want to put, okay, so their first policy implication is essentially like, if you were talking about coal earlier, they're talking about, now we go for oil. Okay, next one. Let's go next one. Okay. Second, the government of emerging carbon markets are supposed to taper off the amount of free carbon allowance and gradually establish the dominance of the allocation method of auctioning, which intends to compel large emitters to realize the incremental value of carbon permits and highlight the scarcity of carbon allowance as well as the role of market. Okay. Is this really just a long way of saying we need to actually reduce the amount of permits, or else it's retarded? Cool. Third, Young Carbon Exchange should interact and strengthen the linkage with such advanced carbon exchange as the ECX to keep track of the latest dynamics. Fourth, carbon futures trading. Okay, so I think here the reason why they're saying this is because you wouldn't want some kind of crazy arbitrage to be possible between two carbon markets. So let's say that your ton of CO2 in one market is $40 and the other one is like $80. Well, then there's some arbitrage here that you can technically do. Now, how you would do this arbitrage, I don't fucking know. And it's probably crazy inefficient and something that you don't want to do. When I say inefficient, I mean like a waste of dollar for everyone. So yeah, probably why they're talking about keeping thing linked. Anyway. Fourth, carbon future trading in these emerging markets should be sufficiently transparent. As the European Commission did in Phase 2, the governments should demand the exchange to publish trading volumes, transaction amount, and historical supply, as well as demand of the whole market monthly. So that traders can keep abreast of what the fuck is that expression? Of market information. Also, the government should limit price fluctuation, especially at the early stage of carbon futures trading, in order to cushion the impact of potential external shocks or uncertainty on economy. Limit price fluctuation. Okay. Okay, transparency is pretty obvious. You wouldn't want to, if you don't have transparency in any kind of market, the big issue that you're having is that people will, like your market will pay a tax for the fact that people will always have at the back of their mind, am I being lied to? And that's like the worst kind of tax that you can have because it's pure fucking loss in like buying insurance for a specific thing that nobody needs. And here, when they say that, I think that where they're getting at, also the government should limit price fluctuation, especially on the early stage of carbon futures trading in order to cushion the impact of potential external shock or uncertainty on economy. Is the idea of a futures at the start, whenever you don't look at it as a purely economics like tool, the idea is that if you want to not get fucked by a fluctuation in the price of a thing, you can buy or sell futures in order to take advantage of the current price of a thing. So let's say that you don't want, let's say that you fear that, fuck, am I going to fuck my brain? I don't think so. Let's say that it's so much easier to think when we talk about options. Let's just make the example is the same thing. It's just way less sexy whenever it's not a contract, okay? Let's say that you want the current price on your future exchange is $50 for a specific like amount of ton of CO2 that you can emit, right? For a permit. Permit. For a permit. I'll get to what you're saying. I'll just finish reading. So let's say that there's, right now, it's $50 for the ton, for the permit, and you don't want to have to worry about where the price will be in a month. You want to have that price. Well, then this is where you're going to buy your futures contract in order to make sure that you have a specific price. The price that you have right now on the futures contract is going to be the one that you pay. It's going to be the real one that you have. That stability is what futures are for, guaranteeing that the thing happens. So it's insurance, essentially. So here, what they're saying, fucking hell, I stayed too long on the other window, flashbang, bee. What they're saying here is that you need to make sure that your futures price, let's say that your spot price does this, okay? If your future in the background is doing this, nobody will want to invest and to work with this because they will see that the insurance tool that is like working with it is fucked. So that's where they're getting at for that. All right. At the same time, the independent community independent trading log. Why did I have to say independent? Oh, okay. This is a name. Okay, I get it. The independent community independent trading log should be established to record, check, and supervise transaction into and out of accounts, which can effectively decrease the risk caused by human error and market manipulation by large institutions. The data in our studies are in level form. However, conditional heteroscedasticity of return series or time varying volatility. Oh, that's volatility that I was searching for. God damn it. Fuck. Volatility when something does this, okay? Anyway, can influence the result of nonlinear Granger causality test. Scholars should take the George effect, Gorge effect and time varying econometric model into account and analyze the evolution of arbitrage efficiency over time. So, arbitrage efficiency, the difference between your two price of the spot and wherever the fuck it is, price of your future. Okay. The difference is the arbitrage. Okay. Meanwhile, scholars should also pay close attention to the impact of exogenous event on the price or return of carbon spot and future, and apply the event study methodology to better identify the lead lag relationship under a certain contingency. So again, they're saying they're essentially saying we need more study in the relation between the two and seeing when it leads and when it lags. And when they say that, like the undertone of it is so that we can make sure that it more closely align with the reality, because we're going to end up knowing what makes the prediction bad. Also, give us more money so we do more research. Also, okay, let's go. Which kinda doesn't make sense because there will be less and less emission papers. I think you meant permit. The profit being the difference between the market price at which the unit is traded. Arbitrage is the practice of taking advantage of a difference in price in two or more markets, striking a combination of matching deals to capitalize on the difference. Yes, I agree. So if price of your spot, let's say that this is spot, I'll explain it in two ways so that I'm fair, okay? If spot is higher than your future, then you can arbitrage by buying a future and selling a spot. So let's say that you keep to do arbitrage. Let's keep in mind, to do arbitrage, you need to keep a stock of both. So let's say that you have a bunch of permits. So you have 1,000 permits, and you have a bunch of futures. You have 1,000 futures. Fuck. And you know that the market is inefficient, so that the market between there's a lot of arbitrage that can be done because the difference here is huge. You can say, okay, because there's a difference here, I can buy some more futures to try to push the price up, and I can sell some of my spot. So let's like update this. And let's say that this relation later on inverts. Fuck. You could be selling your futures. Fucking hell, please. Selling your futures and rebuying your spot. The difference here, when you did the transaction, so let's say that you did a transaction here, the difference that we have here is the profit that you make as the person doing the arbitrage. So this, let's be clear, unless your market is crazy inefficient and there's some insane fuck shit going on, this doesn't like affect your price negatively. It should just seek to have a better precision on what the fuck the price should be. So again, we're essentially talking about a price range where we have fucking hell. The true wording. Right now, we are saying that the price, okay, there's two worlds. There's one world where the price range of what is the true price, what is the price that we actually get, what is like what the real world price is, the range is $1. And there's another world where the true price, like the range that we have for a specific price, the precision at which we can say the price is $0.1, right? So this is what this arbitrage does, is it reduces the amount of of range for that price. And what this means for market participants, so either in the spot or in the future, is it means that it costs less money to make a transaction. So if you buy something, instead of having a tax whenever you buy and you sell of $1, your tax is now of $0.1 because it is a more precise price. That's what this study goes. Okay, I know you gotta go. I love you, okay? I love you big time. It was very fun to talk to you. But here, I think that I can safely say, after we read this, that we are not finding what you think we are finding. And I think this is the big issue here, is that it's very easy to misunderstand markets. You're not alone. You're in the majority, okay? But markets are not there to bring a price up or bring a price down. They're there to discover a market, a price. They're there to, derivatives. They're there to know where the fuck a thing is. And right now, by what we've seen, it's not the case that there's any issue. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm not saying that I'm in the dark big time. I'm not saying that it's like maybe there's an issue. But this study is not a proof of this. And right now, by everything that we've seen, it's not anyway, you get it. I love you. And if you want to talk about it on stream next time, I would be all in for Discord, but it's up to you. Love you. Bye-bye, okay? Bye-bye. Love you. Sleep, okay? I am the Dark Lord of Finance. I am getting all the money, all in my bank account. Okay. You know what? Let's fucking light things up. That was 1L of a deep dive. God damn. Holy shit. I love reading that shit. Like I'm not the best at this. Like this is all things like that's why I'm jealous. I'm jealous of, let's put back the sound. Or maybe not. Who the fuck cares? Okay. I'm jealous of people that go to school. Like if only I could have gotten my meds before. And I could have studied these things, and I could know these things, and not just be Googling shit like a goddamn retard. Ah, spread. That's the fucking word that I was searching for. Spread. So the amount by which you can arbitrage a thing is the spread between the spot price and the futures price. Here we go. Okay. You better than most. Your interests got you to search for information. Yes. Yes, that's like when I play the map game. Like I'm doing this because I'm tired of feeling like a retard. Like I'm tired of like looking on the news and seeing Kyrgyzstan and being like, where the fuck is Kyrgyzstan? I'm saying retard, but the truth is, like, we're all retards, right? I'm not saying that it's bad that you don't know where the fuck fucking Kyrgyzstan is, but yeah. Student learning school and have no interest will base understanding of all state information of all stale information. Okay, yes, I agree. Like there's nothing better than being passionate and being inside the school. But yeah, my no, I guess this is a more like a philosophical problem, right? Because when I look at my life, like there's things that are going well for me. There's a lot of things that are going well, and I'm like forever grateful. But like if I could hit a reset button, and you know what? Okay, I'm talking only to MB. If there's any viewer that are watching this stream, it's not for you, okay? Only MB can understand me now, okay? Only him. If I could hit a reset button and not have kids, okay? That's the reset world, okay? Not have a kid and not be with this woman. No kid. No, not that woman. If I would have saved my money and just I had so much money before. You don't even know. I would have saved all of my money. Man, if I were not retarded, I could have not retired, but I could have lived like a roach and essentially studied everything I wanted. Or I could have went to school and like go into politics or go into like there's a bunch of things I could have done. But yeah. While your knowledge is fresh from the garden. Yeah, well, fresh from the garden. The problem is, you don't know what you don't know, right? I think that's the most fucking powerful thing whenever you understand it. So when I love my square analogies, okay? When I'm coloring my squares with knowledge, and I'm starting to color them, so this is the square of econ, right? My chance of of drawing them and drawing them with wrong information that I need to correct afterward is increased because I don't have a teacher to show me like things that are true and things that are false. So it's hard. The ability to send experience in the past would be overpower. I agree. It would be overpower. Wouldn't we like that? Wouldn't we like that? But hey, such is life. And you know what? I'm living so that I can give my future self a better life and I can give my daughter an awesome fucking life, okay? I'm happy. I'm running. I'm running the show, okay? I'm doing good. Money plus time plus interested in politics equals prime minister. I don't think that I think that you need to be like perfectly placed in order to do these kind of things. So no. But let's just say that I could be wasting way more time on this and probably making some greater things. Like it's mind rotting to think about, but the amount of power that is on the table for people to pick is fucking insane. Like just to make it, just so my brain doesn't melt and I don't like quit my job tomorrow. Let's say that I was a millionaire, okay? Let's say that I had $1 million. I put it all in investments, okay? I'm fairly sure that if I had a crew of like 6 people doing full-time work on like some policy, some propaganda, we could probably push a policy of our choice and have it like happen. But you need you need to be unhinged, right? You need to be like if I was to dedicate the next 10 years of my life to Ozempic for all, I think we would get it, okay? But I would need my crew of retards and to not have the constraint of being a father and a fucking slave to my job. So, hey, we'll get there. We'll get there. And the reason why I need to tell myself that I need to be a millionaire for this is because if I start believing too much in it, I'll do it. And that's not a good idea, okay? Financially, not a good idea. No. No, I need to think about my daughter a little bit more than this, okay? Can you buy a contract on the future self? True. True. I would buy all the contracts, okay? It's going to be worth so much. I'm putting everything on myself. But hey, that was fucking awesome. I like talking about these things. Like it's challenging for me, Not in a bad way, but like in the good way, because like I need to remember what all of these things say. Try to remake the theory in my head. And like they're all like, you need to know these things. It's, yeah. It shows that you like that. I do. I fucking love it. Explaining how the system works is so rewarding for me. Getting to understand how it works as well. Not just explaining it, but like knowing. I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing from my past, but I hate not being able to explain how a thing works. Like whenever I argue something, being scared that someone will ask a question and that I'm going to be stuck, that kills me. Like that's also why whenever we were going through this, I was often saying, okay, I don't know this. I don't know this. Just because I was like, I don't want to get asked a question and to be the fucking retard that was pretending to know a thing. I don't know it. Right? But hey. Oh, fuck. Cost to carry? Am I retarded? Did I inverted it in my explanation? Based on the cost to carry model, we apply linear. Oh, fuck. I'm retarded. I inverted it. I think. This image tells it all. Having the actual thing will have a most likely an increased price because the price of the thing, because you have to, well, an increased price, maybe not, fuck, it depends on what we're talking about. It will have a different price because you have to manage the actual thing and not just trade it on the market. Okay, anyway, I need to keep that in mind. Yeah, shipping. Okay. All right, we need to do these more often. I need to know these fucking words. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. I yapped enough today. I fucking love you all. Add it to the wiki. um, we like I would make websites about this. Like this is, you get that, like the Tradle game. The Tradle game. Like I thought that this was an official organization. It's not. That's the thesis of a guy. um, in 2012, the OEC was spun out of MIT as an open source project. The OEC was refined through years of expanding its technical ability. The OEC was the master thesis of Alex Simoes, directed by Professor Caesar A. Hidalgo. So this motherfucker essentially made this in school. Well, it's been like reworked a bunch of time. But you get that we can, like, let's say that we get actual expertise in this. Like, we actually get good at making these retarded database. We could make useful things. We can affect the world, okay? We can do real things. Okay, before I go, we need to do our daily tradle. We need our daily tradle. Ah, fuck, there's more than just a tradle. Sheep, bovine, other animal. 1 billion. Probably. Are we talking about island nation or Africa? Ooh, document title, unused stamps, 81 million. That's kind of big. Malta's economy is bigger than that, right? Malta has a lot of those. But sheep and goat, bovine, other animal. That's not, mollusk. Not ship, citrus, paper container, gold, essential oil, processed crustacean, palm oil, bitumen, other skin and hides. Fuck. Okay, so we're for sure linked to the ocean. Sheeps and goat makes me think that there is some amount of territory, or maybe not. This is so low, and this amount of gold makes me think that we're in Africa. We're in full abuse. Oh man. You know what? The Gambia. I'm doing it. Ah, I'm getting shit on. 6,000? We're like in we're like in Pakistan. What the fuck? Um No, I was about to say like Maldives or Sri Lanka, but they would export way the fuck more. What the fuck is this? Oh shit, we might be talking about like Djibouti? I know what, that makes sense. Is this Somalia? Somalia exports more than that. So we're talking about... There's the Comoros. Comoros would be south. So it would be Seychelles. Really? Jersey? Oh. Wait, so it's Somalia for real? Really? Somalia with the sheep and gold? I would like to know what this is about. God damn. Didn't know. Let's finish our games for the day. Okay, let's finish our games real quick because I want to pee. Connect rate. Okay, Togo, Anguilla, Pitcairn Island. What the fuck is this shit? Ah, they're all bad. We're gonna die. Togo, so West Africa, the south of it, the strip, right? There's a bunch of countries that are strips. That's one of them. Anguilla, that's one of the island in the Caribbean. Pitcairn Island, that's the island in the Pacific. That's to the right of the French Polynesia. Very small, from my knowledge. And Laos, that's the one that is to the left of Vietnam, and it's in the northern part. Okay, so Laos, I would expect to have way more farm-related stuff. So soybean, starches, coffee. Oh man, maybe not coffee. Starches. Corn's not native from there. Banana? There's other things that can grow way the fuck more bananas, I guess. Oh fuck. Oh man, who would do plastic in those? That feels like a thing that will grow on a fucking island. You know what? I'm going for this. Shit. Soybean and coconut. Oh man, cassava. I don't even know what this is. Let's go plastic and animal food. Bro, I'm screwed. Bananas. Oh well, we did one without wanting it. Other inorganic compound, bananas, plastic lid, and prepared cereal. Which one is this? I guess plastic lid would be Togo. Pitcairn. Okay. I don't know. I guess it's random at this point. Okay. Soybean, coconut. Soybean, coconut. Coffee is something else, right? We have not tried coffee. Are you fucking kidding me? Soybean, coconut, coffee. Where is animal food? Animal food is not it. Okay. Did did I don't know what cassava is. Fuck it. Okay. Coffee, cassava, soybean. Sorry. Coffee, cassava, starches. Hello, Cardian. I need to go pee and I need to fucking go sleep, but I'm finishing my fucking tradle, okay? So log the fuck in. We gotta know what this country is, okay? Right now we got Pitcairn Island, which is a Pacific island, okay? It's done. We don't have to think about it anymore. Togo. Togo is in Western Narnia, exactly, okay? Togo is in Western Africa. It's in the south of Western Africa. And Anguilla is in the Caribbean. And Laos is to the side of Vietnam, okay? Guess what the fuck they produce now, what they export, okay? All right. Coffee, cassava, starches. What the fuck is missing to make one of these? Who would be making coffee? Who would be making coffee? I'm guessing that we're not talking about Laos because Laos seems to feel like soybeans, okay? So, Anguilla or Togo? I don't... What is cassava? Species of plant. It's a starchy root vegetable. Tropical region. Okay, I've spoiled my ass big time on this one. Where is my tradle? Okay. So we're talking about Anguilla. Okay, cool. What other thing? Oh, corn. Right? I love what you said, but I'm even more like this makes no fucking sense. Is coffee native to Café? Covfefe. Okay. Where does it come from? History. Lack of evidence. Prophet Muhammad. Cocoa comes from Africa, but I don't know if first coffee plant, flower chewing plant, Maronite professor. Okay, so we're talking about North Africa, I guess, or Saudi Arabia, Middle East. I mean, coffee beans quantity. Yemen. Okay, so we're talking about that overall fucking region. Cool. Cool. Yemen. North Africa. Middle East. All these places. Fuck. Okay, soybean, coconut. Soybean and coconut. Okay, soybean, coconut. Now, don't tell me that coconut is not linked to fucking Anguilla, okay, and soybeans. Well, no, soybeans could be Togo. Okay, you know what? I'm guessing it's Anguilla, so we're doing soybean vaccines because it's a bit more production than fucking Togo is capable of. And what the fuck else is fancy? Wine? Yep, I'm going for it. I'm a retard. Oh no, that's bad. Okay, let's get as much guess as we can get. This, and animal food. What the fuck is this mix? Okay, this is guessing at this point. We're playing the guessing game. Okay, fuck me. Cool. Cool. What's the play tradle? I've already done my tradle. Pick 5. This is where we do it. I didn't do it today. I did it yesterday, you dumb bitch. Okay, guess we're drilling machines. Germany. China. The United States. Fuck, I'm France, Spain, or Italy. Which one? Oh, fuck. I'm putting one on France, okay? France. Make a tunnel for me. Oh, what a fucking failure. Fucking failure once again. Maybe I'm guessing wrong. Maybe we need to pull, like, Japan up in here. What if I just gotta have for eat ammunition from... True. You want to blast the fuck out of your enemy? We got what you need. We got right-winger removal 5,000. Ooh, Japan was not bad, but not enough. Fuck, we need another one. I'm addicted. We need to go. I need to pee. Laboratory, sir. We already did this one. Bro, we already did this one. Give me an old one. Dextrins. What are we talking about? Did I? I did. Dextrins. Dextrins are low molecular weight carbohydrates derived from breakdown in starch or glycogen. Okay, sugar. Cool. Processed sugar. Dextrins. Instead of guessing, why don't you choose the right answer? You motherfucker. Send on Discord because I'm getting the fuck out soon. Okay? I'm so aggressive. I love you, okay? Dextrins. Who produces a fuckload of sugar? I would say Cuba if it wasn't fucked, but we're going for Mexico. Oh! It's better, but... You're gonna tell me, like, China. China. Okay, it's better. It's going to be fucking Canada and I'll kill myself. What the fuck is Dextrins? What? Okay, send me Discord memes. Oh, yeah. We're listening to that shit. Oh, man. Okay, we gotta put, like, fucking Spain. No, let's put Italy, okay? Thailand, Netherlands, Germany. I don't fucking know, bro.
The threats are evolving. Today's battlefield is defined by steel, speed, and layers of protection. To defeat the modern main battle tank, power is no longer enough. It's about sophisticated simplicity, using advanced technology to make the job easier for the soldier. This is the Heat 758 round for Carl Gustaf. Integrated with Firebolt technology, the munition communicates directly with the Carl Gustaf M4 and its fire control device. No second guessing. Ballistics, range and temperature calculated in an instant. Precision simplified. Engineered to dominate, its advanced tandem warhead is built to neutralize any explosive reactor armor used on the battlefield today.
I would buy 5.
Once the reactive protection is neutralized, the main charge is powerful enough to defeat any main battle tank. Don't just face the threat, outsmart it. Heat 758. Anti-tank evolved.
Don't you want to buy more, okay? You know what? Right now I want to be any main battle tank. I want to be deployed, okay? They're selling me on it, okay? I want to go buy 50, buy 500, and we're going to be camping in Ukraine, okay? We're going to go on a family camping trip in Ukraine. It should be available. We need the guy with this voice to say exactly that. Like, come on today and camp in Ukraine. Available to everyone from age 18 to... like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like this. Oh, man. Let's go kill some fucking Russian. Bro, don't you want to put that... Look at this mighty fucking cylinder. Just for fun. I would use it on a parking full of cyber... True! Oh, this is so good. What the fuck have you... That's a beautiful cylinder, okay? Some people love dicks. I love E138. And by the by, what the fuck have you been Googling for you to get that publicity? Sab is like, this guy is either Al-Qaeda or he's working in the industry, okay? We need to propagandize his ass. I just want to have fun. You want to fix the world. Yes, okay? I want to fix everything, always. And you know what? If I can do it with money, I'll do it. If I can do it with the EAT 758, I'll do it as well, okay? If it means that we need to deploy, I'll deploy. I'm in. God damn. Oh, this needs to be my fucking intro. You know what? Sob, if you're listening, I'll start every stream instead of having a can, it will be your publicity. You just have to pay me $100, okay? Easy. Easiest publicity of your life. $100. All right. I love you, Cardian. That was great. All right, I'm gonna go have a live now, or not. Probably go editing and trying to avoid sleep, I guess. Anyway, bye. Love you all. Okay, for real. I need to go. I need to fucking go. I'll never. Oh no, fuck! I haven't recorded my thing today. Oh no! Ah! Well, I guess I'll YouTube download this shit. Who the fuck knows? Bye. Okay, love you all. Bye bye.